Hello, class. Today I'm going to be recording for your CRTR 2401 Intermediate Machine Shorthand. And what I've done is I've started something a little bit different. I wanted to cover your syllabus. So when I go into Blackboard, start here, I double click on the left tab, and then information you will need to start the class, double click that, and then syllabus. So that's where I'm at, okay? I was just having some problems logging in, and it was kicking me out, or it wasn't letting me share the screen, so I'm already in the syllabus. So make sure that you're registered for Intermediate Machine Shorthand. This is CRTR 2401, Summer 2017 online course, okay? And so what I wanted to do was go ahead and cover this. So my name is Lucretia Thomas, CSR RPR CRI, and my campus and office number, Northwest Campus, room M84. So if you all need to contact me, I'm here at the Northwest Campus. And then my email, lucretiat@epcc.edu. Okay, my telephone number here at the college is 831-8834. And then my cell number, if you all need to contact me, is 915-274-2521. You can also text me, and that's a pretty good way of getting in touch with me. Office hours I will have through Zoom. So if you all need to talk to me, anything, you want me to explain anything, please let me know. I'll be available probably at noon. I'll have the Zoom on, and I'll send you all the instructions, how to log in, and that way I can show you my screen. I can help you out with whatever you need. Please do not hesitate to ask me, okay? Very, very important. And I want you all to know that you can contact me. I don't want you to get far behind. This is an important class. It's a little challenging because it's totally different from where we tell you what to do. Every day you have a homework assignment, you turn in your homework. Now you're kind of basically on your own. So this is where your discipline, structure, practice habits play a very, very important part. So I highly recommend that if you need any assistance, contact me, and I will help you out whichever way I can, okay? If anything's not clear, please don't hesitate to contact me. So moving down, lab assistant is Monica Sosa. So you all remember her from last semester if you were in Theory 2. Her email address is msalaz23@epcc.edu. And the phone number for the lab, we have two numbers, 915-831-8879 or 915-831-8860. So make sure that you have these numbers for the lab, okay? So the text and materials, textbook for this class is optional, and it is available at the EPCC bookstore if you're in El Paso. If not, remember you can always look on eBay, anywhere online, AccuLaw, and if you see any of these books, you can purchase them. This is the brand new price. So we have Beverly Ritter Loban, Stenet's Professional Dictionary for Stenotypists, 1998 edition. And so you have it for $71, okay? I highly recommend that you get that dictionary because anytime you hesitate at stroking a word, you're gonna look up how to write it, and you'll have the strokes there for you. I may have one available for purchase that some student is selling, so if you're interested, send me an email and I'll let you know how much it is, okay? Beverly Ritter, this book, the Stenet Dictionary of Briefs and Phrases, it's a little thin book. It's the 1998-99 edition, and it's $22.35. I highly recommend you pick that book up because it's very inexpensive, number one. Number two, anytime there's a word that you're hesitating, and if there's a brief for it, it's going to be in this little book. So it's very handy, okay? And this is actually a copy of it. Let me make my screen a little bit bigger. This is the brief book. That way you all have it. Okay, this is it, the little brief book for $22.95. Let me get the dictionary. That way you all have access to that. Okay, let me show you what that looks like. Okay, it's this one. Okay, and it's Real-Time Professional Dictionary. As you can tell, it's really a big book, very thick, but very helpful because any word that you don't know how to stroke, you look it up in English and it'll give you the outline and stenograph. So these are the two books. Highly recommend them. If you can find them online, make sure that you show it to me just to make sure it's the right one. And they're very good. Those I really, really recommend, okay? And so now we have other books. These other books are optional as well. These are for your written knowledge test. So you have a textbook for the written knowledge tests. Remember, in order to become a court reporter in the state of Texas, you need to pass your state test. We do carry licenses. And so the state test consists of a machine part and it consists of a written knowledge test. So sometimes my students like to take the test early. If you take the written test, it counts for life if you pass. So it's always there. So it's really a good idea, to start going over some of this material. I highly recommend that you take your test probably when you're at maybe 180 words a minute, okay? But these are the books that I like to put up so you all can see. There's also a national test. CSR is the state test. RPR is the national test. And so there's also a written test and there's also a performance test. So these are the books for the state test and the national test, okay? So you can always look over them. They're very good. They're good to have. They're good reference books. And I highly recommend them, but maybe a little further in your studies, okay? Materials, so you need a stenograph machine. Machine rentals from EPCC must be paid every semester while the machine is in your possession. And it depends whether you have software or not, so it varies from $100 to $200 per semester fee, okay? So $100 to $200 per semester fee. Very, very important that you all understand that. And every semester you have to pay a new fee. A lot of students always get a little confused on that, but every semester you pay a new fee. Remember, the semesters are 2 16 weeks and then 1 10. And very, very important that you all have your software as well. Remember, in the summertime, I don't have any new theory classes starting, so you all can still keep the software to utilize the practice session for your real-time writing, the case catalyst. So it's not a problem in the summer, but in the fall, you all probably will be responsible for purchasing your own software. I do have a couple of students that are selling their software, so if you all are interested, let me know. They're good prices. Stenograph does sell the software. They give you you can download the software for, I'm thinking maybe $500, $500, $550. I believe the students that are interested in selling their software access probably are selling it for about $300, and I know it's brand new. They hardly ever use the software. So all it is it gives you a download access code. Okay, so let me know if you're interested in that. So you need your software. Like I said, in the summer it's not a problem, but it will be in the fall because I have a new theory class starting and they're going to need access to the software that you all have. So your dictionary is the Merriam-Webster's 11th edition. And so let me show you the book, just because it's kind of important. That's what the state tests use to grade your test. So I think it's important that you all get in the habit of using them now. Let me show you. Okay, it's just this little red, the Merriam-Webster dictionary pocketbook, okay? So it's good to have those because you can use it at your state test for your performance on the machine. Okay, and then of course a USB flash drive. Take down everything. If you all are going to be away for a week and you want to, have us put some speed building material, you can always bring in your flash drive, or I can mail you one, whatever's convenient. Okay, I just want you all to always stay on your machine. Very, very important. And then you will be given your performance evaluator username and password for access. So I will be explaining that in a little bit. Okay, so the course requirements, going on to page 2. You've got evaluations. You need to pass 2 5-minute time writings, each at 80 words a minute and 2 at 100 words a minute, with 97% accuracy on lit material. So some of you have already passed your 80 lits, and then now you need 2 at 100. Okay, so very important that you realize it's 2 at 80, 2 at 100. And then we've got pass 2 5-minute time writings at 80 words a minute and 100 with 97% accuracy on jury charge. So 2 at 80, 2 at 197% jury charge. Some of you have already passed your jury charges. So if you passed anything from last semester, we do carry it over and it'll count for this semester, okay? Going on, pass 2 5-minute time writings each at 100 and 2 at 120 with 97% accuracy on Q&A. So I believe some of you have already passed your Q&As at 100 and then 2 at 120. So just remember, we hold anything and then we start this semester today, and you'll get tests every day, okay? So the grading scale under B, attendance will be verified by Blackboard and class must be attended 80% of the time, which is 10 or more absences. If you don't, so if you have 10 or more absences, you didn't attend, okay? So you need to have 9 absences, okay? You will be given an F or be dropped from the course if you have more than 9 absences, or if you have 10. If you have 10 absences, you will not, you will not make it. So I will verify your attendance in Blackboard. Make sure that you access everything. In order to get an A in this class, this is a totally different class from all other classes. If you pass tests, you get A, B, C. In this class, you have to pass all 12 tests in order to get an A. So there's 12 tests, because remember I went through the scale up here, 2 at 80, 2 at 100, lit, 2 at 80, 2 at 100 jury charge, 2 at 100, 2 at 120 Q&A. So very, very important that you all cover that. So these numbers equal 12. Okay, so in order to get an A this semester, you have to pass all 12, plus you have to have 95% of your homework notes and 95% of dailies turned in. Okay, so I'll explain the homework notes and the daily. The B is 75% of your required time writing, so I have a 9 right here, so that's 9 tests passed, plus you have to have 90% of your homework notes and 90% of your dailies turned in. So there's a little leniency there. It's 90%. Over here, you have to have 95% of your homework turned in, so that's for an A. You have to have a little bit more here. It's 90% of your homework turned in. So for the B, it's 75%. Or, this is very important, the or, 50% of your time writings passed, which would be 6, but you have to do a little bit more of the homework, which is 95% of the homework notes and 95% of the dailies. So it's a little bit more, and there's a chart that I will cover with you all to explain that a little bit more. Okay, so there's an or, so if you pass 6 time writings, you can get a B, but you have to do a little bit more of the homework assignment. A C is 50% of required time writings, which is 6 tests passed, but you're doing a little less of the homework and a little less of the dailies turned in. So you're turning in 85% of homework notes and 85% of dailies turned in. Or there's an option, 25% of required time writings, so 3 tests. Always look at your ors, okay? That really helps out. So you only pass 3 tests at the end of the semester, but you did 90% of the homework and 90% of dailies turned in. So very, very important that this is your grading scale right here. I will cover it more in a little bit. A D is you didn't pass any tests, or maybe you passed 1 or 2, but you still have to do 80% of the homework notes and 80% of the dailies, okay? If you only pass 1 or 2 tests. So very important that you do 80% of your homework, 80% of your dailies. An F is you didn't pass any time writings and you had less than 80% of homework notes and less than 80% of dailies turned in. So that's an F. So remember, there's a note. It says all required time writings must be passed before the student will be allowed to enroll for CRTR 2403 or unless a grade of I is given. So in order to go to the next class, which is faster, you don't want to move on unless you're ready for that, is you have to pass all 12 tests, okay? Unless you get an incomplete, and I'll explain that a little bit later, okay? It's in the syllabus. It just goes down into more detail in a little bit further down. So that's the I. So your average grade, 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D, below 60 is an F. Okay, so there's your grading scale. Now, homework and dailies. So this is explained according to what's up here. Homework and dailies, you have 95%, 90, 80, 85%. So let's explain what homework and dailies are. So notes, every week you all are going to turn in notes, homework notes from 15 hours of practice that are required per week. So 15 hours are required per week. It can deviate, you all. You know, you don't always have to turn in the 15. I understand sometimes things happen, but that's what your goal should be, 15, okay? That's for the A. You're going for the A. You want to practice as much as you can. Refer to your practicum guidelines sheet under handouts as to how to complete your homework. So I will cover that in a bit. You're going to send your 15 hours of practice to homework and practicum. Every week you're going to turn in a practicum guideline sheet. Every week it'll be week 1, week 2, week 3, because you're going to tell me what you practiced, okay? You're going to send it to Monica at msalaz23@epcc.edu, and you're going to CC me, okay, at lucretiat@epcc.edu if you are on CAT software. So most of you are on CAT software, so that's your Case Catalyst software where you do your homework and then you send it to us in a PDF file. The homework is due every Monday. So next Monday, you're going to have 15 hours of practice homework due, okay? We will review it to see how you all did. We skimmed through it really quickly. Monica will look at it. If she has any questions, she'll show me. Because remember, we can read your notes, so we'll see what you're practicing. At the end of the semester, I understand things happen at times, so you will be given 15 extra lab hours, and 3 dailies will be added to your homework totals at the end of the semester. So let's say for whatever reason you had to take a week off, you didn't turn in homework. Well, I will cover you for that week and give you 15 extra lab hours and 3 dailies. I know most of you work, so I will, work with you on that as well. I do this every semester, okay? The homework notes for this class for 15 hours of practice average anywhere from 5 to 8 inches if you have a paper machine. So we're talking 5 to 8 inches of paper, okay? The paper notes. So if not, then 15 hours of practice is required per week. So it's just 15 hours of practice, y'all. You can sit at your machine. I would recommend that you all have a little logbook. And day 1, write down how many hours you practiced. Day 2, how many hours, as long as it totals 15, okay? And we'll look through it, and we're gonna gauge how many practice sheets it is. When you send it to us, like it's 1 page, 2 pages, and I'll let you gauge more or less how much 15 hours of practice a week will be, how many pages. So that's how we're gonna gauge it, not by notes, because you're not sending us the notes, you're sending us the pages of the notes. So we'll let you know how many notes that is, okay? But just remember, just use the honor system, 15 hours, and then I will give you more specific guidelines if there's any problems, and saying it should be this many pages, okay? This is just an approximation. Should there be any question regarding your homework hours, you should be able to demonstrate to the instructor how you arrived at your weekly total. No more than 20 hours will be accepted at any one time, especially at the end of the semester. So let's say that maybe you did 10 hours the first week, and maybe the next week you wanted to turn in 20. You can do that. So 20 is the most you can turn in, okay? Let's say you're gonna be out for a week and you wanted to use, turn in more hours. You don't wanna use my extra credit. You wanna do the work. You can always turn in 20 as the max, okay? Just so you know. 15 is for the A, 20 is for the max. So always know that the most you can turn in is 20 hours. And the homework and/or lab hours to be turned in shall be done according to the practicum guidelines. So I will go into the practicum guidelines sheet and explain that. Homework notes that are completed utilizing court reporting software must be emailed to Monica and carbon copied to me. If you are using Case Catalyst software, the best way to send your notes via email is, and so here's how you're going to send it to us, okay? You're going to open Case, follow the directions, just like you sent your homework last semester in theory too. Okay, and you send it to us. You pick what you want to send. Maybe I can have a little video of how to send your homework notes. That way, if there's some new students in the class, that way you can see it, and then that way it'll be easier for you to send it. Makeup homework for absences should be done on an ongoing basis. 3 transcriptions of time writings dailies required per week. Tests must be typed in their entirety and may be typed at home if not to be graded. So remember, dailies is the same as a test. So let's say, for example, I'm giving you every day you're getting 4 tests, for example, okay? And you probably are for the 80s and the 100s, you're going to get 4 tests every day. You get 4 chances, okay? Let's say that you felt pretty good about one of the tests. So you're going to type it up and it's just a daily. All I want you to do is read your notes. I want you to read your errors, go through it, make your corrections, enter words into your dictionary, and then send it to us, and it's a daily. But let's say you type up that same test and you think maybe you passed it. It counts as a past test if you pass it, and then it counts as a daily as well. So you're getting credit for a test, and then you're getting credit for a daily, because you need 3 dailies a week. A daily is just where you're reviewing your notes, you've taken the test, maybe you felt really bad, but you still have to read your notes and see what you wrote. You need to see how you're writing. Whether it's speed that you need, whether it's accuracy, you can turn it in to be graded, or you can turn it in just for a daily. It's the same thing. Only a daily is just, okay, I didn't do that well, but here's my daily. Or I did really well, please grade it. It's still a daily, okay? So I hope that makes sense. But you need to turn in 3 of those a week. So you'll turn them in next week, okay? This week you're gonna listen to all the recorded material, all the tests, and then remember, it's only the test, not the speed building, it's only the test. And that way we can see how you're doing. I can give you some feedback and say you need to work on your speed building. You need to keep covering your theory. I will explain to you all what you need, okay? So all dailies, some students don't turn in dailies the first week. I don't recommend that. You need to turn them in every week. I typed up something every day from school. Every day there was a test, whether I did bad or well, I always typed it up, okay? So you all really, really very important that you all type up everything. So June 16, if you haven't turned in anything by June 16, I will cut it off and you're going to be stuck with whatever dailies you turned in. But a good idea to get in the habit of turning in 3 dailies a week. And then July 14 is the next cutoff week, okay? So 3 per week. So this is due next week, okay? This is to ensure dailies are being typed up during the semester. Any dailies not turned in during this time period will not be allowed to be turned in at the end of the semester. So please stay caught up with your homework and make sure that you take your time and that you turn in your dailies and that we can review them to see how you're doing, okay? Very, very important when you're reading back your notes. Going on, dailies should be turned in utilizing computer-aided transcription, Case Catalyst, or any other CAT software. So sometimes we use Case Catalyst. That's what you all will be using because you still have your contract from this semester. Make sure you pay up on it. But in the fall, you're going to have to get your own Case Catalyst, okay? So make sure that you all realize that. We recommend Case Catalyst because that's what we use here. That's what our class teaches. So the class, you all, I wanted to give you all a little bit of information. The class, if you all take the class to learn how to write on the machine, it's going to be offered in the fall semester. It's an online class, and it's in our degree plan. And the class is going to be, let me give you that information. It's CRTR 1314. So if you need a class to register for next semester, aside from this one or the next speed class, CRTR 1314, Court Reporting Technology 1. Okay, very, very important. And it shows you how to utilize the software. So I highly recommend it. It is an online class. Homework from practice from the performance evaluator may be turned in to be added to your homework totals. Please ask the instructor for your passwords. So I will email you your passwords today, but I'm going to explain that a little bit more. It's a little overwhelming. There's a lot we're covering, so I will explain your PEV passwords. Okay, that's just practice, a library of practice for you all. Okay, makeup exams. A student has 1 week to access Blackboard recordings. So you all be very diligent about accessing your Blackboard recordings. Everything will be up there for a week. Remember, I put it up there daily. So after I'm done with this today, I will put the video up so you all can see me. And then the test will be up as well. I'll put up my video and then I'll put up the audio recordings as well. So you'll have access to both. I will give you a week. So you have 1 week to access everything. If you need more time, just let me know, but please stay on top of it, okay? Extra credit. Extra credit assignments may be done as per the instructor. A student may receive no more than 20 extra credit hours per semester. So I can assign you, like if you're in town, you can go to a job fair. If you're out of town, you could even go to a job fair. Just recruit the program. You can write a short paper. If you need extra credit, let me know. But always remember, I give you 15 hours of extra credit for your homework, and then I give you 3 extra dailies at the end of the semester. Blackboard recordings. Okay, so these are all Blackboard. This is Blackboard, what I'm in. This is your test. Please call 915-831-6440 to obtain your username and password for access to Blackboard. Tell them you are an online student. So this is from last semester. If you were on last semester, you're going to be okay this semester. Same password. Attendance will be verified through Blackboard. All activity is monitored in Blackboard. Any student who does not access Blackboard at least 80% of the time, or you have 10 or more absences, that's 80% of the time, will be dropped from the course or will be given an F. Okay? Students must access Blackboard or the digital recordings on a daily basis. Remember, Blackboard is Blackboard. The recordings are put in there are digital recordings or my video. Okay? Don't let that confuse you. Students will not have access to the digital recordings after 1 week has elapsed. This will be strictly enforced. Any test typed after the 1 week period will not count as a pass. So you'll have to diligently stay on top of this, because if it's the 1 week period has passed and you type something up and you pass it, it's not going to count because you didn't abide by that 1 week period. So remember, you have 1 week after anything's put up there. After that week is, so today, once I post everything up, you'll have up until next Monday for everything. We put the deadlines in Blackboard, so it automatically cancels it. So just make sure you abide by this. Let me know if you have any questions. If tests are typed at home, which most of you are typing it at home and it's a pass, please bring in or email your notes to your lab assistant the next class session, or the test will not count. So you will be notified if you pass. If you pass, send in your notes right away. Don't hold on to them. Send in your notes, okay? Very, very important, because we've had some students lose tests because they didn't send in their notes. So keep your notes, save everything on your computer, and let us know whether you saved them or not, okay? And that way you don't lose a test. The tests are also important. And then you have instructors' policies under Roman numeral 5. And here we go, you all. Please call 915-6440 to obtain your username. Did I already cover that? Yes. And password for access to Blackboard. Tell them you are an online student. So y'all, you need to access Blackboard. You cannot have more than 10 absences or you will have to be dropped with an F. So make sure you access it daily, okay? Withdrawal from class. It is your responsibility to withdraw from the class in accordance with community college's policies, procedures, and timelines. The instructor may drop any student who does not access Blackboard. The last day to withdraw with a W is Friday, July 7th. So Friday, July 7th is the last day to drop. If you don't think you're keeping up with the class, you know, anything comes up, just know that Friday, July 7th is the last day to withdraw. A C, I grade. So this is under C, the I is the grade of an incomplete. Sometimes an incomplete will be given solely at the instructor's discretion. I rarely do this, you all, but just so you know, it is an option. Such factors as attendance, number of tests needed, homework completed, etc. will be given consideration. You are allowed 4 months to complete the time writings. Should you choose not to re-enroll for the same course the following semester, you will have to make arrangements with the instructor to take the tests or the time writing tests. So I will explain that. Usually if you have like 2 tests that you still need to pass and you want to move on to the next class, or you didn't have time to complete the test for whatever reason, I will look at factors such as how, you know, your accuracy, how many tests you need to pass, and I will give you an incomplete. It gives you 4 months from the day that you signed the form. You and I signed the contract, and it's 4 months to complete it. I rarely give these out though, okay, the incompletes. Sometimes emergencies come up, you can't complete the program for whatever reason. This is an option, okay? But I don't like to give out the incompletes. D, student conduct. Cheating will not be tolerated. Any student in violation of the Code of Student Conduct will be reported to the Vice President of Student Services. Persons who are caught could be subject to community college sanctions, as well as being given an F on the assignment. So y'all, very, very important that you all not cheat. You know, you all are on your own. You're typing up your tests from dictation that's given. At any point, if I'm suspicious, I can go through your notes and read them and see if it matches up with the English, okay? Remember, you don't want to cheat, because at the state test, they watch everything. They're walking around monitoring everything. There's no way to cheat. And, you know, it's just not a good thing. You really do not want to cheat on anything. You're only hurting yourself. You know, this is speed. You need the skill. and cheating is not going to help. And believe me, you all, I've had students cheat, so be really, really careful. Don't cheat. Don't listen to a test 3-4 times. It's not going to be worth it because you only get one chance at the state test. One hearing, that's it. It's not going to be played and played over and over again. It's just one time to get it right. So don't waste your time like that. Set your habits up nicely now. One time you listen to it, you edit your test, send it in, and that's it. Okay? Make sure that you all are aware of that. Student responsibility under E. Misunderstanding or confusion should be communicated to the instructor. Students have the primary responsibility for asking for help in completing the course objectives and in seeking assistance when needed. Students are encouraged to keep their own records of dailies and lab hours turned in. Okay, so dailies, remember, are the tests that you turn in every time you turn in a test. That's just practice, or you want it graded. You're going to have a sheet that you're going to put little check marks in, so you can also verify that you have turned in your work. You can also ask your lab assistant or myself, and we can give you a tally of how many you've turned in, okay? But you'll have a sheet that you can print up and keep track of it yourself. F, lab area conduct. This applies to students practicing at the campus. So that's if you're here practicing. We do have a lab. Let me put down under 1, at no time are students to leave their property unattended in lab area, especially school equipment. It is not the lab assistant's responsibility to oversee students' unattended property left in the lab area. We are not responsible for any misplaced items. 2, due to the limited space, do not leave any of your belongings in a cubby while attending class. Out of consideration of other students, please take all your belongings with you to class in order to ensure enough practice space for all court reporting students. Please remember there is no such thing as a personal cubby space for any student at any time. Any property left unattended will be removed at instructors' or lab assistants' discretion. In consideration of time writings being typed, all noise should be kept to a minimum. Although noise level is constantly monitored, please keep in mind that this is a lab and not the library. There will be constant movement in this area with various students coming in and out. If there is excess noise, please report immediately to a lab assistant for corrective measures. Remember, your shouting across the room to keep the noise level down is just as disruptive as any other noise around you. If any noise is intolerable, please consider typing time writings in the ACS lab area located in room M91. As students enrolled at APCC, the ACS lab and the library are also available for quieter practice. Remember, it is impossible to monitor every sound occurring in the CRTR lab area. Okay? 4, no food and/or drinks are allowed in the lab area. H, this is very important, to carry over past time writings from one semester to the next semester, the student must 1, attend the next subsequent semester. So whatever you pass this semester, you need to attend the next semester in order to keep what you pass. So very important, you all, because some students will say, well, I can't come back. You have to stay on your machines. You really have to. You can't realize how important it is if you want to get out of school quickly. You can't take breaks. You have to continuously be enrolled, okay? And you have to turn in at least 80% of your homework notes and dailies, so you have to get at least a D in order to keep your tests. So very, very important. D in the class at the time that you pass these tests. Okay, the calendar for this class, 2401, students will review your theory book independently for reinforcement in trouble areas. Live and tape dictation will be given in class and in lab and will include medical and technical dictation. Weeks 1 through 9 will follow this schedule. So you've got Monday, you're gonna have jury chart speed building at 80 and 100 word a minute and 2 tests at each speed, so you get 2 80s and 2 100s. Time writings are also tests, okay? So that was yesterday. Today's Tuesday. We're gonna have, if we have time, we'll do the Q&A live. If not, it's pre-recorded for you. Q&A speed building at 100 and 120 and time writings. Wednesdays, and it's always gonna be the same, lit speed building at 80 and 100 word per minute and time writings. Thursdays alternate between jury charge, Q&A, and lit speed building. So I'll start with the jury charge this Thursday. Q&A will be the next week, and then next week after that, lit. And then we just alternate, and you'll get tests, okay? So you'll get 2 tests at 80, 2 at 100, 2 at Q&A, 2 at 100, 2 at 120, 2 at lit, 2 at 80, 2 at 100 lit, and then alternate Thursday to 80 jury charge and to 100 jury charge, okay? We only have class Monday through Thursday, but it's gonna be a 2-hour session. So very important that y'all know that. Last date to withdraw with the W is Friday, July 7. Week 10, you're gonna have finals, July 31 and August 1. So those will be tests that you get. No speed building, it's just the actual tests. You have to speed build on your own. Roll will be taken in Blackboard. 2 examinations of each speed will be given. Note this calendar is subject to change. Under 7, certification exams, written knowledge exams. So this is for your state test. Okay, so I give you a little bit of information. These are the websites to go to if you want to find out anything about the state test. The JBCC is the Judicial Branch of Certification Commission, Judicial Branch Certification Commission. And then TCRA is Texas Court Reporters Association. I give you the links. Very important that you all read the information on both. They are the ones, these two. TCRA gives you your state tests. They're responsible for administering it. You do all your paperwork through the Judicial Branch Certification Commission. So very important that you read up on these. The website for NCRA, this is the National Court Reporters Association, and this is the ncra.org. Remember, for Texas, you need a state certification. National, if you want to work anywhere in the nation, it's a RPR. This is it right here for the national. All you need for Texas to be able to work as a court reporter is the TCRA, Texas Certified Reporter Exam, CSR. Okay? A lot of students get confused on that. And I really don't explain it till later on. These are the June exam dates. The test is not given in El Paso. It's given, the next test is given in Fort Worth, Texas. So it's areas throughout Texas. Usually it's Fort Worth, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas. They never bring it to El Paso. So this is the exam dates deadline. And withdrawal policy. A, withdrawal policy beginning fall 2007, all freshmen enrolled for the first time at any Texas public college or university will be limited to 6 course drops during their entire academic career. Drops include those initiated by the student or by faculty and those incurred at other Texas institutions. This policy does not apply to courses dropped before census day or to complete the withdrawals from the college. When you register, see your advisor, choose your courses carefully. Before you drop a course, see your advisor, discuss options with your professor, use campus resources such as tutoring, labs, computer labs, etc. Okay, so that's just telling you to be very careful about your drops. Because after you incur 6 W's, it becomes an F. Okay, so be very aware of that. In court reporting, some of the students do have to drop because it is a skill, and they don't want to get a bad grade and affect their financial aid. So that's why this is very important. Okay, and so that's it. That's your syllabus, you all. Let me see. I hope this is going to work with me. If not, I will just break it up and then go into the other areas, okay? Break it up and put it in different little videos. So let me log out of here. So now you're back to me. Let's see. So now I'm going to go back over here. Hopefully you can see this. Now I'm going to go into PEV. No. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so there I am. Okay, so let me get into PEV. Sorry, y'all. It's okay. Let me share, and I'm going to go over here, and so you all can see. This is start here. Now I'm going to, let me just a minute. I think I need to do one more. Just a minute. Information. So the syllabus. You've got your official syllabus. I just wanted to cover one thing on your official syllabus, you all. This is for 2401 Intermediate Machine Shorthand. This is part 2. And so what I wanted to do was cover, this just tells you all your requirements that you need for your class. And it's not letting me scroll down, but we do have a Center for Disabilities. And if anybody feels like you're disabled, you need any special attention, it's located at the Northwest Campus. And the phone number is 831-8815, M54 Northwest Campus Disability Statement, okay? And it's Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA. So I just wanted to cover that with you all. And then going back, you have your degree plan. So make sure you access it. This is just a recommendation. These are all the courses. It's based on 60 hours. So I recommend that you look through all this. Okay, that's your course plan. That's your degree plan. And then you've got just a minute. Let me get in here. Sorry, you all. It's just a little hard with the I'm afraid I'm going to lose my screenshot. So just a minute. Let me get back in here. Okay, and then we have handouts for class. So let me cover this real quickly, handouts. So this is your dailies and record summer for 2017. This is where you're going to keep track, you all, of exactly where you've turned in. So let me click onto this. You can print it. It might give me a hard time. Yeah, it's not going to let me explain it. So that's okay, you all. I'll explain it. I'll close this out and I'll explain it on the next one, okay? It's not letting me. Okay, so I'll explain your practicum guidelines and I'll explain, of course, the finger exercises, how many errors, what is an error, and the uniform format manual, okay? Let me see if I can do the PEV real quickly. Let me get into PEV. PEV is, it's a software where you can practice, and it's actually letting me show you this, so this is okay. So this is how to access PEV. This is the website, and it's http://theessentialpiece.com, just as it is right here. Remember, you can't log in here and access it. You can't do that. You have to go to a new web browser, Google, hopefully if you have Google Chrome, enter this address, and then that's where you can access it, okay? You all will have access June 1st, so you won't have access till Thursday, and it's up until July 31st. This is a big practice session, and it's where you log in, you can practice theory, you can hear jury charges. This is an instructional video that Kat, one of our lab assistants, made for you all. So if you access this, she'll show you, just like I do up here with the Zoom meeting, how to access everything. And then, of course, you have a video tutorial that was put out through Stenograph, and then a guide. So if you want to print this up, okay? But this is Kat showing you how to access it. Very important that you all realize that right here, that's not the address. You don't click on here and it's going to take you there. That's just the website telling you what the website is, okay? And so very important that you all know that. It's extra practice, so whatever you practice in there, it keeps track of it, and you can send that as your homework practice as well, okay? Just say I did PEV for whatever amount of hours. Very, very important, okay? And then this is STENED theory practice. So let's say you wanted to practice to STENED theory. Then you're going to go here, and theory practice 1, all it is labs and lectures from your theory practice. That's what you can practice, because you're going to be required to do 4 hours of theory practice a week. So you can start here. And if you access this, this is lab. It starts with lesson 2431. Click it, and it's 50 minutes, 50 minutes, 50 minutes, and 50 minutes. So this is 1 week's worth of practice. And you just listen to it, take it down, and just mark it theory. Make sure this, you know, this is 1 week's of theory lesson, okay? Because you have to do 4 hours. So this would count for 1 week's worth of practice. 50, 50, 50, okay? And so let me go back over here. So week 1, and then you can go on to the next lessons, okay? Just go on and on. Week 2, this is a week theory practice week 1. This is lesson 1 through 5, okay? So the next week you would go with the next one, okay? You would go over here. Week 2, okay? And just keep up with it, theory practice. And it's all of them in one right here. So make sure you access all of these. So very important for you all to listen to your theory and just master it and write it down. You have 4 hours of mandatory. So that's what that is. That's your standard theory practice. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but this is just, I think the students like to listen to it and take it down, okay? And then now I wanted to go into one of your handouts, the daily sheet and the practicum guideline. I hope it lets me open them. Let me see. And that it doesn't kick me out. So what I'm going to do is the dailies. I think it's going to kick me out. Yes. Okay. So it's letting me out. So what I'm going to do is start a new file, and I'll already be in this sheet. Okay. I'll start a new file, you all, because this is pretty long. It's 45 minutes. So I'm going to stop right now, take a little break, and then start up new with this already in my browser. Okay. Let me stop this. If you all have any questions on anything regarding the syllabus, please let me know. Have a great day, and I'll be right back on with the practicum and daily sheet, okay?